UCLA faces an old nemesis, the Eastern Time Zone, in the NCAA tournament. The Rams finally accept that sometimes life just sucks, and Shohei Ohtani wants a Cy Young. Can somebody talk him out of that, please? Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is March 20th, 2026. Finally, welcome back to the home office. Do you like being in the know about LA sports? Well, if you do, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. By all means, comment. We have an expanded look at the scoreboard today because of today's Bruins playoff game. But last night, Lakers 134, Miami 126. Luka Doncic is playing at the level the Lakers dreamed he would after they acquired him last season. He dropped 60 on the Heat. Miami fans, not that they're particularly intelligent, but they started chanting MVP. The Lakers win their 8th consecutive game, and by the way, in the latest non-record gifted to LeBron James, he tied Robert Parrish for the most games played in NBA history. New Orleans 105, Clippers 99. Derrick Jones scores 22. The Clippers have lost 4 consecutive games. Philadelphia edged the Kings in a shootout 4-3. Artemi Panarin with a goal and an assist. And the Galaxy once again shut out Mount Pleasant 3-0. This was the second leg in CONCACAF Champions Cup. Gabriel Peck scores twice. The Galaxy advanced to face two-time Liga MX champs Toluca in the quarterfinals in April. Meanwhile, today, UCLA is going to play Central Florida at 4:25 in the first round in the East bracket of the NCAA tournament. Donovan Dent and Tyler Bilodeau are expected to play after they both got dinged up during the Big Ten tourney. Dent told the Scribes yesterday he feels, quote, 100%. And UCLA has won 4 of its last 5, so you want to be optimistic. You want to buy just one keg of hopium after another and just share it with all your friends. The team has finally turned a corner. Now, I think the Bruins have superior talent. Common sense tells you they should be the favorite. But there's too much uncertainty to say this is a done deal. This is a trap. If Dent or Bilodeau are exaggerating their health, this becomes a game. The Bruins were 17-1 at home this year, which obviously meant that they were below 500 when they traveled east. That makes it a game. The Knights like shooting threes. As a result, when they hit enough of them, they post upsets like they did against Kansas. I can't ignore that. Those shots fall. If this becomes a shootout, and by the way, everything I'm looking at suggests it will be a shootout, this becomes a game. Now, I mentioned earlier this week it would be wise to pressure UCF point guard Thamus Fulks. He committed 6 turnovers when the Knights lost to Arizona in the Big 12 tourney. I think UCLA wins. I do. But this is not one of those things where you're like, oh, 99 times out of 100, the Bruins are going to win. This is more like 2 out of every 3 times. This is not a game to be taken lightly. So if you're a UCLA fan, let me know what you think. And with that out of the way, let's get to the news. Cooler heads prevailed with the Rams. Clearly, they saw last season as a missed opportunity, and they have absolutely rued those 2 road losses in Seattle, particularly the fluky 38-37 overtime one in the regular season. They finally embraced reality and dropped the idea of changing the rules to address the odd 2-point conversion that Seattle got in the regular season loss. See, as goofy as it sounds, conspiracy theorists, and trust me, there are legions of them out there. I think social media is the playground for conspiracy theorists. They could argue that that one goofy play that I'm about to describe altered the trajectory of the Rams' entire season. As part of a highly improbable comeback, a 2-point conversion lateral from Sam Darnold hit Jared Verse right in the helmet and bounded into the end zone. Because the throw from Darnold appeared to be a forward pass to the naked eye, players absent-mindedly figured the play was dead. The ball rolled into the end zone. Zach Charbonnet picked up the ball just like any of us would a Del Taco wrapper when we're done eating. The refs then stopped the play, and while the teams were lining up for a kickoff, they asked for a replay and then later ruled Charbonnet recovered a fumble in the end zone, not just picking up what he thought was an incomplete pass. 2 points for the Seahawks. That helped get them to overtime, and Seattle eventually won, which in turn meant the Seahawks had home field advantage through the playoffs, which may have been the difference in the NFC title game. Look, I understand why that would be disappointing, but I am super happy the Rams dropped it. 2 reasons. 1, so many things had to break Seattle's way that night and break Seattle's way in the NFC title game. The Rams were the toughest opponent that team faced all year. It damn sure wasn't New England in that trash Super Bowl. And by the way, the second reason, it just sounds whiny. It just sounds whiny. Angelenos do not whine. We just figure it out. If there is a rule in life to live by, I think I originally heard it from Ice-T. Hustlers don't complain. They just figure it out. And that is exactly what the Rams have approached. Angelenos do not whine. We accept reality even if it sucks. We do not beg for calls. The goal is to build a team so strong that not one judgment call can take away what's rightfully ours. And if you look at what the Rams did in the offseason, that's going to be far more productive than any rule change ever could be. So yeah, drop it and move on. Shohei Ohtani kept his word at the World Baseball Classic and did not pitch for Japan. Wednesday, he pitched a Cactus League game for the first time in 3 years. 3 years. That was back when he was still with the Angels, had no idea what the playoffs looked like, let alone winning a World Series. And at that point in his life, he only sported 1 long scar from a Tommy John surgery as opposed to 2. Ohtani pitched 4 1/3 shutout innings. He needed just 61 pitches with a fastball that was hitting 99 miles an hour. And so after that, he told the scribes he wants to make regular pitching starts all year. And his teammates were telling the scribes that Ohtani privately wants to get a Cy Young to just put right up there, along with all of his MVP blinging trophies and the World Series rings. And I completely appreciate the dude's competitive drive. But we need to tap the brakes on that. Don't get it twisted. I understand the temptation for the player and for Dodger fans. The Roto is missing Blake Snell and Gavin Stone. Roki Sasaki needs a catcher to paint a bullseye on the mitt. But have we all forgotten who the pitching coach is for the Dodgers? Have we really? Mark Pryor sends so many pitchers to the operating room, you have to wonder if he gets a commission from Cedars-Sinai. 13 pitchers went on the injured list last year. In the last 2 years, at least 5 Dodger pitchers have undergone Tommy John surgery. 3 of them, at least in the last 2 years, underwent shoulder surgery. Do you remember Walker Buehler? Do you remember Tony Gonsolin? They're no longer on the team thanks to Tommy John surgeries. Why? Because the Dodgers believe that you need to pitch as hard as you possibly can and put as much torque on your shoulder and elbow as you possibly can. And Mark Prior is perfectly willing to go along with that plan. But here's the thing. If Mark Prior gets his Freddy Cougar spikes all up on Ohtani's elbow for a full season, and that ulnar collateral ligament goes, goodbye three-peat. Goodbye. There are bigger problems, or I should say bigger fish to fry, than Shohei Ohtani getting a Cy Young on his mantle. He's got enough in his trophy case. If you follow Major League Soccer as I do, you've likely heard that the league wants to get with the rest of the world, right? And they want to adjust their schedule like the international leagues and play fall, winter, and spring. Never mind that as many as 15 clubs could very well be playing in the snow when that comes to pass. Be very interesting to see a soccer match being played where everybody's in galoshes and long johns. Well, the season ends December 18th this year, which would mean, what, 3/4 of a year goes by without any soccer? And that is just too much time without revenue. So the league will hold, with the Galaxy and LAFC involved, the league will hold a 14-game mini-season / cynical cash grab from February to April. Something that I'm sure will have all of the thrills and chills of the NBA in-season cup. Just saying. If you thought people were clowning the Dodgers like Padre fans, Scum Francisco, over the Dodgers winning a title back in the COVID year of 2020, imagine what would happen if somebody handed the Galaxy their 7th MLS Cup after a 14-game season. Yeah, that just does not sound appetizing at all. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example, about what you see UCLA doing in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Or, for that matter, do you think the Rams should have pursued changing all the rules in 2-point conversions? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortez Queso production. Take care.